Would you be more safe or less safe if all men just instantly transformed into
in a primitive sense, we would be less safe.
All of you guys can conduct a very simple experiment. You ready? Walk over to random men you don't know, reach over and pat them on the head and walk away and see what happens. Do the same thing with wild bears. Walk over, pat them on the head and walk away and see what happens. Which one do you think is going to be far more likely? Now, you might be able to pat a couple of wild bears on the head and walk away. You might be able to do that. But I can guarantee you that a lot more of those bears are going to attack you than men are. It's very simple.
Logically, it makes no sense to choose the bear also because the bear doesn't speak English. How are you communicating with the bear? Now maybe if I was Daisy, maybe Daisy can do this because Daisy know Panda. Daisy know Panda bear. Now I'm communist China. I work for CCP. You party? Okay, I know Panda bear. I communicate with bear all the time. Okay, how you think I got fresh? How you think How you think? Okay, you see bear, you sit down, you say, he go get you food, he bring you back. That's how that work. But you stupid American because you dumb, you don't know nothing. That's how I came here and did what I did. And now I be in Communist Chinese Party high up now. My family very important now in China. Okay, I put all kinds of spyware inside because we know you two people stupid. Of course you choose bear. I know how to talk to bear. You dumb American girl. You know nothing. You have to choose man. Man going to eat you too. You stupid. This is where we're at. Hello, America, FBI and CIA agents and fellow cult members. Welcome to Culture Club USA. I'm DiBrava. And today's riddle is, behold, a dark forest. In chimes the king, the revenant. The emperor is fully clothed, a crown of thorns on to behold. The maiden walks the path, a red cloak adorns her frame. As tall tales of wicked dames poisoned her mind onto this game. Because the forest knows no friends, as the revenant sharpens his teeth. The wild knows no sins, as foolish souls meet their defeat. Okay, on today's episode of OnlyFans on Trial, we are going to dive into a trending topic where women were asked, would they rather be stuck in the forest with a man they don't know or a bear? Yes, I said a bear. Let's dive in.
Well, here's what I've got. I've got, for the first one, she thinks that 33 million men,
Oh my God.
33 million men would want to, and somehow do horrible things to you, which would include murder. The second one's 55 million men, by your estimate, would want to
fix that.
And just in case, which I'm sure most of you know who the Crucible is, or Andrew Wilson, he is running the show over there at whatever. Now, this is going to be very interesting with him debating these women on this particular subject, don't you think? Okay, I digress.
would want
You gotta
to
fix that, Nick.
do something horrible to you in that situation. The other one's estimates were still beyond high, but you really think that 33 million men in the United States want to murder you in a forest if they could? Like, honestly, do you think that?
Like, the misconception and like the high estimates are coming from the idea that as women, we are kind of conditioned to...
Hold on a second. He's already smoking a cigarette. I mean, you know, this is a episode in progress already, right? But I mean, can you imagine what went on earlier? He's already smoking. Okay, this I cannot wait to get into. Okay, because this girl here, just by the sound of her voice, we can already see where this is going.
You in a forest if they could? Like, honestly, do you think that?
Like, the misconception and like the high estimates are coming from the idea that as women, we are kind of conditioned to fear the idea of getting attacked by a man and be afraid of that. And so our estimate would be high because we already think the probability of getting attacked would be high, given that women are not necessarily safe when they walk alone. I think that's where the misconception is.
Wait a minute. Boy, this just gets more and more interesting. As the days go on, these podcasts get more and more interesting, okay? Let me just get this straight. This girl here is saying that women are conditioned to be in fear of being attacked by men if they walk alone. Like, look, okay, I live in New York City, okay? And no matter where you are in New York City these days, okay, there's stuff going on, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean that you're just walking around in fear. Like, this is where we've gotten. These talking points, these feminist talking points have gone so far beyond out of control, it's ridiculous.
I think that's where the misconception is.
Yeah, doesn't that seem to you to be illegitimate, though? If your estimates are so high that you believe that as many as 55 million men in your native nation would just murder you in a forest if they happen to be alone with you? I mean,
okay, so
don't you think that kind of conditioning might be a little bit absurd?
I'll retract my estimate if it bothers you, but I would say that.
Well,
oh my God! This girl's already on my nerves. Okay, here we go with that. You know those little annoying news, little, like, you just want to, like, why would you say that? I'll retract my statement or my estimate if it bothers you. I cannot stand that type of rhetoric. So I'll retract my statement just to make you happy, but that doesn't mean I mean it. I still mean what I said. I'm not really retracting it. I'm just saying it to make you happy. Oh, will that appease you? Oh boy, this is going to be a good one.
Well, like, I can stand by the fact that, like, maybe there's an overinflated estimate, but
me.
Thank you, Andrew.
Well, you seem a little bothered. That's why.
Yeah, wouldn't you retract it though because you don't actually believe that 55 million men in your native nation would murder you horribly if they were in a forest with you?
You're right. I think that it was inaccurate, but I'm saying that even though it was inaccurate, I'm speaking to the inaccuracy and saying the reason why was because lots of women fear being attacked by men.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like it's very justified that they fear that.
Are you a woman?
When we start talking about the actual, do I need to be a woman to note if it's justified by the numbers, whether you should fear that or not? I don't understand.
I don't think this is a numbers game. Shouldn't I be able to use my logical brain, even if I don't have a vagina, to take note as to whether or not?
This is so typical Crucible. I mean, first of all, everybody that gets around him has no choice but to throw the "you're not a female" nonsense on him. Well, how would you know you're not a woman? I mean, when did common sense just flee out the door? Okay? When did women lose all common sense? 55 million men. If you're alone in the forest, 55 million men are going to kill you if you're alone with the forest. That's the likeliness of. And by the way, if women were in constant fear of being attacked, you would never see women out doing anything at any time, anywhere. Okay? What the heck is she? Where do these women get this stuff from?
If I don't have a vagina to take note as to whether or not this is possible or not possible, do I need to be a woman to note that 55 million men obviously and clearly don't want to kill you in a forest? Did I need to be a woman to know that?
I think you're a little stuck on the number. I think, like, really what we're talking about is the female experience, which you can't speak to.
Yeah, but I can speak to the male experience. And don't you think the male experience can speak to the male experience of how many men, I think, would actually want to hurt you?
You're right. My estimate was overinflated, but I explained to you why it was overinflated.
Yeah, I know, but the reasoning, so I still have to take everything through a logical prism. So even...
Wow, first of all, not to cut him off, right? Look at this girl's disposition. Just look at her. Okay, the one speaking. Oh, Lord. I mean, oof, she's a rough one. She's a rough one.
Yeah, I know, but the reasoning, so I still have to take everything through a logical prism. So even if you tell me the reason that it was overinflated is because of X, that still has to make sense. Saying that it was this way because I just felt like it should be that way, that doesn't actually make any logical sense. You're not basing that on anything other than how you feel, right?
Right.
No, she based it on the fact that we're conditioned. We're actually taught to think this way, not just by our mothers, but by our fathers, especially like in the Hispanic household. Like, our fathers will be the one that tells you, don't trust the man in the wood.
Yeah, but that.
Don't trust the man in the wood. What does she mean, woods or the wood? Okay, because if her father is saying, don't trust that man, don't trust that man with the wood, maybe he's talking about the wood, you know what I'm saying? She might be misconstruing his message. Yeah, don't trust the man with the wood. Stay a virgin for as long as you possibly can. Now, your father is just running around saying, don't trust the man in the woods. Where are the woods, first of all, with these women? Okay, where are the woods? Now, me? Now there are woods. I went home not even a month and a half ago. Okay. We're in May and I was going for a walk. Okay. Cause I love to walk lots of miles. I was approaching my parents' house and there was literally a bear, an actual bear standing at the driveway. Okay. And what did I do? I stood there and did not move. Then, of course, once it went and took off and left me alone, it got up, looked at me, went over there, went across the street and slammed through the woods. Then I got my phone and ran outside in the back and then filmed it, of course. But I'm just saying, how many of these women are experiencing what I've experienced with bears? There's lots of actual bears in my parents' yard, in the neighborhood, okay? They're there all the time. Now, where are you from? New York City? Like, wait, so where are you, like, your father's giving you this advice? No. I'm going to go with no.
It's really kind of strange because even right here on this panel, the estimates are wildly different as to how many women think that they would or would not be assaulted or murdered by men. So when you say we are taught, like as a collective, that clearly can't be true, as there's many women on this very panel who gave wildly different answers, right?
Yes, but not every man is a good father who teaches his daughters to be wary of a certain type of man. You know, not everyone is brought up in the same way.
That sounds like an indictment of being raised by mothers only.
Mothers only? What do you mean?
I was like, there would be nothing wrong with that. But
yeah, there wouldn't, but I'm confused on your point.
Well, because if you're saying that it would require some kind of strong man in the home to condition a daughter to know what type of man to look for, wouldn't that be an indictment of being in only a single mother home, that probably wouldn't be good for a kid?
No, because I started off that statement saying that it's not just mothers that do that it's also fathers. So therefore, like, it's both parents who have the ability to teach their children about these things.
Well, was it your father or your mother who told you that such a wildly disproportionate amount of men were going to assault you in a forest if you came across one?
If I'm going to be honest, it was both, but it was mainly my father who wouldn't even let me go to a sleepover because of things like this.
Okay, first of all, my parents wouldn't let me go to sleepovers either. Okay, they all had to be at my house. Okay, I went nowhere. That does not mean my father's like, listen, young lady, even though there are bears here, be aware of them. I mean, these people make this crap up as they go along.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a distinction between not wanting to let your teenage daughter go to sleepovers under certain types of conditions, rather than an indictment of men and that men are going to just do horrible things to you. That seems kind of silly, right?
Well, no, because he actually like taught me like why it wasn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't just say you can't go to a sleepover because I don't want you to. He told me the reasoning behind it and like gave me the whole talk, you know?
Let's assume all of you were trapped in a forest. You were in a horrible plane wreck and you were actually trapped in a forest and there was a bear there. Now, the bear hadn't been overtly aggressive, but you have been avoiding it like the plague because you didn't want to find out. You're trapped in the forest. The bear is there. You happen to come across a man on the trail who has not noticed you yet. Would you ask him for help?
100%.
Go ahead, going around the table. Would you ask him for help?
Yeah. If I'm lost in a forest, yeah.
Yeah, would you ask for help?
Before I answer this, I think that like I can see where your logic is going, where it's like, oh, why would you trust a random man if you were endangered?
Just answer the question, please.
Well, okay, yes, but I think I know where you're going with this. That's just what I'm gonna say.
Okay, and then next one, would you?
She just had to inject. See what I mean? She just had to inject that. Oh, I think I know where you're going with this. Where is he going with it? It's a hypothetical. Answer it. Yes or no. The answer is yes. Of course you're going to run over and ask the guy for help. Duh, you're a female. I don't care who you are. You're going to go over there and be like, hey, man, there's a bear over there. Even if it's another, I mean, like, why do you see how dumbfounded they are? They're all like, you actually have to think about that? You had to think about it. I'll tell you, when I was home and that bear was in my parents' driveway, the first thing I was thinking is, should I move to get my phone and call my father immediately? Or is the neighbor's home? Like, what do I do? Like, I'm looking for a man, begging for a man to walk by or do something. These people are insane, these girls.
Well, okay, yes, but I think I know where you're going with this. That's just what I'm going to say.
Okay, and then next one, would you ask for help?
Probably not.
Probably not. You'd stay trapped in the middle of the forest with a bear. Okay, next one.
Okay, I never thought that any of them would actually say no. Never. This girl actually said probably not. So let me get this straight. There's a bear. Do you know how fast bears can run? Okay? You're not outrunning a bear. It seems like they can't move quick. Man, can they move quick, okay? That's why when a bear is like literally 20 feet from me, you have to stand there. It seems like you can outrun them. You won't, trust me. Climb up a tree. You're done. You understand? And obviously they're looking for food. So let's think about it. Bears hibernate. So if you see a bear that's literally awake in a forest, they're hungry. I mean, you're not going to ask a man that's standing over there for help. She just said no. Okay, that's one no. Let's see how many we get.
Would you ask for help?
Yeah, I would if it was a man or woman or they or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a man specifically.
Yeah,
and he has a rifle.
Yeah.
Right. And,
Yeah,
okay.
I still would.
And then next, would you ask him for help?
I'd eye him out first.
Yeah, I know, but you've eyed him out.
Rapunzel's gonna eye him out. We've added a rifle now. There's a bear. There's a man with a rifle. There's you in the middle. You're going to eye out the man before you ask him for help? Okay. Delusion. These are deranged females.
He looks like a normal man, just like, Ted Bundy did and Jeffrey Dahmer did. He looks like a normal person.
I mean, yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. Okay. And then next, would you?
Yes. But I think if you put the situation
Hang on, no qualifiers yet. Hang on. I just want to get everybody's answer. And then next,
Yes, I would.
you would. And then next.
Yes, 100%.
So these two are like the only ones that didn't hesitate. Hello, common sense, thank God. Thank you, ladies. Bravo.
Okay, so now we can give all the qualifiers now that the whole table has gone around. So can you guys explain to me the logic of when you're asked the question, would you rather be trapped in the middle of the forest with a bear or a man? You say the bear, but then when asked if you were trapped in a forest with a bear and a man came along to give you help out of the forest, that you would ask the man for help. Can you explain that to me?
I think that it would just be out of desperation. Like in that sense, like it wouldn't be who's more dangerous or whatever the argument is supposed to be. It would just be a matter of like, oh my God, there's a bear over there and we're two humans and that's a bear. I don't think it's not on the basis of gender.
What the heck? Why would that thought process even enter this chick's mind? Why is gender? I don't care who it. You see a person, a man with a gun, you run. Hello, can you shoot that thing? Like you begging. I mean, what? I'm dumbfounded. I am dumbfounded. Okay, and he didn't ask Madison what she would do. Okay, Madison is like, I am the bear. I'm a shapeshifter.
Well, I didn't say it was on the basis of gender, but can you understand that it's really, really strange to me to hear if you're asked, would you rather be trapped in the forest with a man or a bear? And then when you say a bear, I say, and if you were trapped with a bear and it hadn't even shown signs of aggression, but you hadn't approached it because it could, and a man came by, would you ask for help? You say yes. Do you see why that sounds absurd to me?
No.
No. Well, because in contrast to this, you're basically trusting a man the same exact way to help you get out of this situation. But if you were put in the situation with a man, you would not expect a man to help you get out of the situation. It makes no sense. It's illogical.
In that sense, first of all, this isn't really a logic game, so I don't want to necessarily approach it 100% with logic. I think that there's some legitimacy to approach.
What? Oh, she doesn't want to. There's no logic to this. This isn't a logic game. Okay. What? How is this not logical? This is not logical. So there's a bear. There's a man with a gun. You're going to fight the bear, right? Is that what this is? Oh, I know. She's Wonder Woman. She's Wonder Woman. She doesn't need the guy. She doesn't need the man. She doesn't need the rifle. She's Wonder Woman. She's going to use her powers, her feminist powers, to fight off the bear. That's what she's going to do. Okay. And has anybody that's seen the new Wonder Woman, okay, about 6, 7 years, whatever it was, we all see how that ended. Okay. The female society, you know, the island of all females, they're all dead. They're all gone. Okay. But she's Wonder Woman, apparently. Okay. I get it.
100% with logic. I think that there's some legitimacy to approach the situation with emotion, because I think everyone would be kind of scared. I think in this situation, you would be trusting a man to protect you against a bear, as opposed to trusting yourself to make the decision against whether or not you're going to choose the man or the bear.
Yeah, so then why wouldn't you prefer to be trapped with the man instead of the bear if your assumption is that the man's going to protect you from the bear?
Well, I guess you could say that I could approach the man when I saw the bear and have to trust that he's not going to attack me too. But like, I guess then it's just kind of a lesser of two evils.
But then why wouldn't you prefer to be trapped with a man over a bear if you're hoping that the man would extract you from being trapped with a bear?
I don't know which situation you're presenting here. Is it you alone and there's one or the other, or both at the same time?
Yeah, if it's you alone or there's one or the other, you can be trapped with a bear, you can be trapped with a man. You prefer to be trapped with a bear.
How does his brain, how does he have cells that are functioning by the end of this? You know this is like 7, 8, 9 hours, right? Can you imagine being in the room? I mean, the question should be, if you had the choice to be in the room on the whatever podcast with these bimbos or a bear, what would you do? Now, in that case, I might say I'd run with the bear. I'd take my chances on that. I don't know how he functions. He has to literally repeat the same thing over and over and over in different ways and forms. And it's the same thing over and over, the same analogy. And it takes him like 7, 8, 9 times to actually answer it or figure out what it is. Or Captain Save-A-Hooker, one of the other ones who does understand it, injects themselves and explains it to them in bimbo terms. I mean, this is the most bizarre thing on earth.
Bear, you can be trapped with a man. You prefer to be trapped with a bear. However, in this situation where you are trapped with a bear, you would still, if a man was coming by, request his aid in making sure that you could get out of being trapped with a bear. That's nonsensical. It makes no sense. It's completely irrational.
Humans don't always behave rationally.
Yeah, but when they don't behave rationally, shouldn't they behave rationally?
Not necessarily.
So.
Oh my God. What? Did you hear that? Humans don't be. Wow, what college did this girl? She's got to have like 4 college degrees, because this is what we're pumping out. You understand? We're talking Yale, Harvard, no, Brown, definitely Brown. She looks like she's from Rhode Island. She definitely has a degree from Brown. I would bet $1 on it. Okay, I mean, I'm telling you, this right here, this is why The Handmaid's Tale is coming. Okay, this is why, because when women are so stubborn and such like nimbusols, okay, that they just to be right and just to go against a man will say anything, this is when you know it's over. This is when it's over. This is literally like saying the sky is black. 24 hours a day. No, Andrew, it's black. The sky is not necessarily blue, Andrew. It's only you who sees it as blue. The sky is black. Mm-hmm. You get it? And I won't even get into other things like, you know, Andrew can have a baby. He can birth a child. I mean, this is where we are in society. I mean, you don't know, like, that what you're saying is literally retarded. You don't know that? Thank you, Brown University. Harvard probably too.
Not necessarily.
So when we have these scenarios and you kind of give me an irrational logical basis for why it is that you choose A over B, shouldn't that question your foundations? Shouldn't you question your own foundations then in your own emotions to think, well, wait a second, perhaps I'm behaving irrationally and I shouldn't do that. By your own admission, you should not behave irrationally, right?
Like I see your point, sure, but I don't know. I don't think that I like have necessarily like the strongest motivation to like perfectly behave rationally at all times. I always think that there's like a better, like an answer that's better explained by the context in that situation.
Well, I mean, sure, there could be answers which are better explained in the context of the situation, but they would be rational answers, right?
You know, this is like an art form, what she does. I'm telling you, this is an actual skill. This is a skill. And you know what? It's going to be worth money at some point. You understand what I'm saying? Because politicians are going to start to. This is like basically the vice president. You get. This is where we're at. This is actually like Kamala. You get Kamala, AOC. These people. They just get out. They're literally controlling the budgets. They're controlling our tax money. They're controlling our futures. They're controlling our everyday life. You ask them a question, this is what they do. It's like AOC. Oh, somebody came into EPAR me in the you know what? Really? Where? Oh, they did. I know it. I know that. I know that for a fact. Oh, the climate is burning up. Next year, 5 years from now, it'll be cooling. It's too hot. It's too cold. It's too yellow. It's too green. Next thing you know, we have to bring aliens down from Mars. We've got to bring aliens down because they need to share the oxygen. And if we don't, I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? It's like Kamala Harris is another one. She never ever, because I am a lawyer and a lawyer says that they know law. And the law states that women are women and men are men. I eat at Burger King because it tastes good, okay? That's what lawyers do. That's what I've done, okay? My degrees come from a school. A school is called a college. College gives you degrees. You get it? You get where I'm going there? You see what I'm saying, Joe? You see what I'm saying? This is crazy.
They would be rational answers, right?
You really like this word rational. Do you have any others?
Do you prefer logical? You seem to like the word emotional. Do you know any others?
Who is she, the negotiator now? The negotiator. It seems like the word rational is bothering you. Do you have any others? It seems like you're stuck on logic. It seems like you prefer to make sense. It seems like you're not understanding how illogic is actually logical. It seems like you've never been around a bear. Seems like you don't have a gun. You see what they do? It's like they watch The Negotiator on whatever, oh, I took a course on how to negotiate. So now I'm going to come on the whatever podcast and debate these people. Why did these women even come on this podcast? What do they think they're going to accomplish? That's how dead they are in the brain. Think about that. What college told her to sit there across from him?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
I just think that you just seem really stuck on the idea of logic, and I just don't think that this is really an argument about logic unless you're trying to prove a point about women.
Oh, it's illogical, yeah.
About women supposedly thinking it's illogical to fear being alone in the woods with a man.
Well, it seemed to be by your own logic that it's an irrational fear if you would still allow a man to extract you out of a situation with a bear. Why you wouldn't just want to be trapped with a man to begin with. That seems totally irrational. It's essentially the same scenario. You just remove one item and suddenly the entire situation changes. And there's really no reason for it to change. It doesn't really make any sense. They're both still strangers in this scenario. They're both still men in this scenario. You're still actually technically trapped with both of them in this scenario, but you would still.
You're right.
It's so different though, because like if there's a bear and a man, it's like a whole different situation. Because like, what man in the right mind is gonna still think about like SAU while there's a bear right there? Like that's like.
Well, couldn't
like,
he just take out the bear and then get you?
One bear at that point.
Couldn't you just take out the bear and then it? These girls, what? You have to overthink everything. Let's just talk something very logical right now, really quickly. Okay, let's think about this. Let's just say we are in the woods and there's no one or nothing for miles. Okay, you've got a bear and you've got a man. Okay, how is a woman going to survive? Let me ask you, how are you going to kill that bear so that you can cook it? Are you going to put the sticks in the water? Are you going to start the fire too? Are you going to build shelter? Are you? I mean, are you going to go fishing too? Are you going to go find the water stream that has the fish in it, catch the fish to bring it back to survive? How exactly are you and a bear going to survive? So let's get rid of the man and keep the bear. And the bear isn't going to eat you eventually? I mean, the man might too, but I'll take my chances. I mean, do you understand how ridiculous this conversation is? This is nuts.
That's what I'm saying is that there's two threats at this point. It's not just one.
It's just two humans. Like, that's why we're choosing that option. Because it's just like, those two humans against the bear is like way better logically.
Yeah, I know. But if that's the case, then why would you choose the bear to begin with? That makes no sense, logically.
Logically, it makes no sense to choose the bear also because the bear doesn't speak English. How are you communicating with the bear? Are you going to talk Chinese to it? Now, maybe if I was Daisy, maybe Daisy can do this because Daisy know Panda. Daisy know Panda bear. Now, I'm communist China. I work for CCP. You party. Okay, I know Panda bear. I communicate with bear all the time. Okay, how you think I got fresh? How you think how you think? Okay, you see bear, you sit down, you say, he go get you food, he bring you back. That's how that work. But you stupid American because you dumb. You don't know nothing. That's how I came here and did what I did. Because I know you dumb. My China Communist Party told me, you dumb. You don't know nothing. Just get some plastic surgery. Look like Kim Kardashian. Put button. Put everything. Make everything like this. Tight, big. And you fall for me. And I do my job. Okay? And now I be in Communist Chinese Party high up now. My family very important now in China. Okay, I put all kinds spyware inside because we know you two people stupid. Of course you choose bear. I know how to talk to bear. You dumb American girl. You know nothing. You have to choose man. Man going to eat you too. You stupid. This is where we're at.
Alone with only the man that is scarier than you are with both. You have more chances to just face. I guess the bear would be, if you want us to like say it, it's a greater evil because you can't really communicate and say like, please don't attack me. But
wow, thank you. Somebody with some sense. Oh no, no. You see, these girls, they gonna cuddle with bear. Just like the people you see on Instagram. They get monkey. Oh, monkey so cute. Until monkey bite you. Do you ever see these people with these animals? Okay, this woman had this cat that was like, I don't even know what it was. It literally can jump like 6, 7, 8 feet. I'm not kidding you. The thing attacked her. Okay, yeah, she spent $10,000-$12,000 bringing it in from God knows where, Australia probably. So, it's so beautiful. It's so cute. Okay, we're gonna cage this thing up, put it in the house in California, and you're worried about coyotes. Your own cat literally attacked you, almost killed you, and ripped your face off. I mean, are these girls nuts? Siegfried and Roy couldn't even control sedated tigers that they were sedating, for God's sake. He ate him on stage alive. Oh no, I'm gonna go with a bear. I mean, Jesus.
Is much like as a woman, safer to just like not be alone with a stranger, and that stranger being also a male, like a full man. Like,
but yeah, if you were, by your own admission, to ask a stranger who is a man for help and assistance because you were trapped with a bear, you're essentially putting the same trust in him. You see a man, he's in the forest, he's got a rifle slung, he's walking through the forest, he's by himself, you're in the middle of nowhere, you're otherwise trapped. Would you ask him for help?
I'll keep hiding from both.
So you would.
Now, Daisy would tell her, you stupid, because you American. I act dumb because I play game, okay? Of course you stupid. Of course you get with man. You get with man, you get pregnant, okay? You take his baby, you bootleg his baby, you get more money, you make baby work, you get it? How stupid you can be? You going to make baby with bear? How dumb you are. You don't even know how to talk to Panda Bear. I do. I know how to talk to everybody. How dare you confuse me? Don't you dare talk to me this way. I talk Panda Bear.还是跟我一起争争吵。这个这个民谣我也不看上我玩，还是跟我一民谣啊。Chinese Communist Party smart. You stupid. You dumb. You fall for this. None of this is real. I take mask off. I go back normal, okay? And I bootleg your baby fresh. How dare you talk like that? You stupid, dumb American. Okay, we go back to China. We go back to China.
So you would stay trapped with the bear rather than ask him for help?
I think
So in order to be logically consistent, you would stay trapped with a bear in the middle of a forest rather than ask a man who you did not know for help to get you out of the situation of being trapped with a bear in the forest.
Yeah.
And does that sound like that's rational either?
Can I give like a little more realistic of a situation? So say you're like at a bar or at a club, how much more likely is it when everyone's intoxicated that you get SA'd as a woman? I think a lot more likely, and it's a more real situation. I think that's kind of what women are trying to say.
What the hell is she talking about? What does a bar, which you should not even be going into, okay? The only place you should be going to is Pilates class, okay? No, we don't go to bars. First of all, women in bars, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave the bars alone, okay? If you're married and you have a husband and you're out with your husband, fine, do whatever you want. You're an adult, okay? Single women should not be in bars, number one, especially drinking, okay? What do you expect? You show up to a bar, you're wearing nothing, you're drinking like some bimbo, and then you wonder what happened. Not to say that it's right to do anything else, but come on. But you can't walk down the street because you're afraid of all men? Okay, you're not afraid to go into the bar, but you're afraid to walk down the streets of New York City? Because 33 million men you think would SAU, but you'll walk into a bar though. That's safe, right? Oh yeah, because the lady bartenders up there are going to save the day. No sense. This is dangerous. This is insane. This conversation is nuts. Other countries are looking at us. That's why these podcasts are full of spies.
Speak up against these days.
What in the world does that have to do with this scenario?
Well, I'm just saying if we're being more realistic about the scenarios that happen today for college girls or girls in their 20s or early 30s when they go to bars and clubs, yes, you could avoid the situation and not put yourself in that space, but it does happen a lot.
Yeah, but what in the world would that have to do with this scenario? I still don't understand. I understand that you're saying in a situation where
as to why
you're a young woman who's at a club or something like this, you should be very cautious about
I'm just
having
saying
your drinks
this
spiked.
is why women feel intimidated by men.
You know something? I'm going to dead this right here, okay? Let me just dead this right here. A lot of people are going to get mad at me right now, okay? How about, fine, people... Okay, of course these things happen. Okay, there are wackos. There are crazy people out here, obviously. But you know what? Everybody's essayed now. I mean, the Me Too movement was created because, I mean, we're talking about, you can go back 30 years now. And this, every single girl that you know was essayed. Really? Or is it that you did something that you thought about later because you were drunk and you didn't want to do it. So now you're running around saying, oh, I was essayed. Okay, because there's a lot of that goes around too. Okay, let's be real. Let's be real. Give me a break. How many women have lied about that? Ruining and destroying people's lives. Look at some of these athletes. These women, these girls come out and say that X happened, and then later on they find out that they lied. They actually admitted that they lied. Completely lied. What happens? Nothing. Somebody's career is destroyed, and it's not the girl. Okay? This has to stop.
You know, because they've had experiences like that. And I picked man, and I would ask for help.
I get it. I understand that, but I'm not sure how that maps onto being trapped with a bear in the wilderness. I'm not sure how that maps on at all.
I'm not referring to that situation. I'm saying let's put ourselves in a more realistic situation because most of us don't go out hiking. You mean
change the entirety of the hypothetical?
Right, but I'm just saying that this is...
Okay, here she comes out. She's got to be a teacher. This one's got to have a teaching degree. She's like, look, I'm taking over the podcast. I'm changing the whole... like he said, I'm changing the hypothetical. This is my show now, okay? Andrew... No, we're going to go to a realistic place, okay? And this is realistically what happens because I'm a drunk. I know. I've been in the bar drunk many times, and this is how it goes. Okay, I mean, let's think about the circumstantials here, okay? Really, think about it. Are these high value girls? Are these respectable girls? Of course not. Are they girls that want attention that'll say and do anything? Yeah, that's why they're sitting on the whatever podcast. Because they're probably all OnlyFans prostitutes.
That's where it's coming from. A lot of women have had those experiences.
So let me get this right. So because some women have their drinks spiked in bars and get SA'd, that means they shouldn't ask for help if they were ever in the wilderness trapped with a bear?
No,
Does that make sense to you?
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying the reason...
Then that's why you should stick with the premise of the hypothetical, because otherwise we're going to end up with all kinds of absurd conclusions, right?
It's not an absurd conclusion. It's what happens these days. If you're wondering why these women would pick bear over man, it's probably because they've had an experience where a man has assaulted them in one way or another.
Every single woman has been assaulted. How is this possible? How? I just don't understand these stats. How? Okay, everyone is Lady Gaga now, okay? Yeah, you come out, you have this mysterious assaulter, okay? You don't want to say who it is, okay? Oh, so let him roam around the industry doing it to everybody else, for 10, 12, 15 years. And now you're going to come out and you're still not going to say who it is. So what kind of person are you then? Like, the women don't think. You're sitting here saying that somebody did the X to you. You know who it is. You know they're in the industry. You don't say anything. You don't want... this is what this one's doing. You're in the bar. You're doing this. You know you shouldn't be in the bar drunk. Doesn't mean this or that. Nothing makes sense. It's anything to have no accountability.
Let us assume for a moment that you had been assaulted by multiple men, okay? Which I'm sure has happened to all sorts of different women. Why in the world would that make it more or less rational to trust a man you do not know if you're in a situation where you were trapped with a bear? Can you make that make sense for me?
Here, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Wait, well, I believe the question's directed at you.
Okay, say that one more time. What?
Here we go with the I'm deaf. Excuse me, I can't hear. I don't speak English good. What? That voice that's the acting voice. This is my real voice. I don't understand the English too good. Can you give me one more time? I don't understand. So you want to answer a question? You notice this? They're either hard of hearing, repeat the question, can you put it in a different way, a different scenario? Silence. Anytime that Andrew, right, brings logic to the forefront, they shut down. I think it's hysterical.
Even assuming that a woman had been many times SA'd under the circumstances that you're talking about, which is horrific. Can you explain to me why that would make it more rational for her to not request that a man aid her a strange man ate her that she did not know if she was trapped with a bear in the forest. Why would that be suddenly a more rational decision? I don't understand that.
I don't think I ever said it'd be a more rational decision. I just think that some women have a hard time trusting men because of experiences that they've had in their life. That's really
So then it's irrational. So then it would be irrational still. Even if that had happened. So even if I grant the entire premise of why you feel that way, it still would not be rational to not request aid from a strange man if you were trapped in the wilderness with a bear. Right?
Yeah, I've never disagreed on that.
Yeah, so it would still be irrational. So I still don't even understand the premise then. What she's saying is irrational. It makes no sense.
You know, you're trying to like put.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I don't know. Let's see where this one goes. Okay, this is going to be interesting.
You know, you're trying to like put someone down for feeling like they're scared of a man. And now I think it's time to move on.
Well, hold on.
Hold on a minute. He's trying to put someone down because they're feeling scared of a man. Lady, this is a hypothetical. Scared of what? How is it that this woman here is literally sitting here talking about being scared of a man when there's a bear in the hypothetical? A bear! A bear! You know what? This is absolutely insane. We are just in another land. I don't get it. It's like nothing makes sense. Men have no value. That's really what this is about. These women of today, they really feel that men have absolutely no value. No value.
Scared of a man. And now I think it's time to move on.
Well, hold on.
I mean, he did that to her.
What?
I don't think he was trying to like shame her or anything. I think he was just
like, personally, I don't feel shamed. I just don't think that you were really trying to understand my point. It came off like you were trying to look at this as a logic game when we all know that it's not.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's
like
kind of.
Well, like
is
I think that the point is that like I don't see this whole scenario as necessary in the same way that you do, and that's fine. I just think that obviously we were trying to get at something deeper, and people were trying to explain that from their own experience, from emotion, or whatever it is that you think is superficial in this sense, or I don't know exactly how you're viewing it. I just think that
what is she talking about? Can somebody reel me in here? This girl, I think this and that and blah 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 and blah 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 blah. I understand Daisy better than I understand her. My God, Daisy Chin actually makes these girls look stupid. These girls make her look like a brilliant Ivy Leaguer. For real. At least she can put A and B together. I get baby with fresh. I bootleg his baby. I get money. I go home. I get power. My family rich. I done. You stupid. We smart. Very simple. You get it? This is nuts.
In this situation, that's where people were coming from. And the idea of trying to boil it down to just a logic game is aside from the point.
How else can we determine, how can we make determinations about whether or not something's a rational fear or an irrational fear, or something makes sense or it doesn't make sense, unless we use logic and we use some way to probe this from some changing standard, which logic would be, to make a determination as to whether or not, hey, there could just be a mass delusion going on here. Perhaps you do think these things from the position of how you feel. That's fine. I'm not saying you can't feel that way. I'm just saying it could be irrational that you feel that way. And so how am I supposed to discuss it with you if you just shut down and say, but I hate that logic stuff because all that matters is how I feel? Doesn't that seem, again, irrational?
I think that it's just a sensitive topic, so people get heated over it.
Wait, you were going to come in on...
A sense of topic, so people get heated over it. Can you imagine if anything did happen? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if something catastrophic happened? You know, a tsunami. You know, think about it. These girls, like, my God, these poor souls. They are so lost. They are so lost. I really think that their brains, maybe it's all like the ADOROL and all the stuff that they, the schools are giving these kids. They can't pay attention. They need that. You need this. You need that. 10,000 psychologists. I mean, I have never seen a psychiatrist in my life. Maybe I need one possibly because I'm just saying, I'm being funny here. I have never ever seen a psychiatrist or a psychologist in my life. Everyone now has to have 3 psychologists, 4 psychiatrists, 1 psychiatrist, 3 whatever. Everyone is a psychopath. Everyone's depressed. Everyone is this. Everyone is that. There's just no normalcy anymore. It's nuts.
Something.
Yeah, I was just gonna comment on the whole rationality thing. Like, I think her point is, like, this doesn't have anything to do with, like, rationality, because it's like putting on a seatbelt. Like, you put on your seatbelt just because, like, in case. It's like in case situation. Like, you're not gonna choose the man in case something were to happen. It's not because we're like, oh, there's like this percentage that it's gonna happen to me today. Today's the day. Like, if I choose the man, it's gonna, like, no one's thinking about it in that way. It's just like,
Can I ask you a question? So
this is why when I go to Starbucks, I just can't get the right thing. You go into Starbucks and you're like, can I get a sugar-free, okay, caramel macchiato with almond milk? And they're like, how many pumps do you want? How many, like, you understand? It's like the most complex thing. Well, do you want 1 pump or do you want 1 1/4 pump? Do you want less almond milk to equal the I mean, it's like, just give me the macchiato with almond milk and a sugar-free whatever. I mean, it's like everything is ultra complex. You get ultra. It's like a Rubik's Cube. Every conversation. You go into Dwayne Reed, it's a Rubik's Cube. Well, I don't know which aisle. It may be in 20. Let me see what. Nothing is just like, oh, hey, yeah, hold on a second. Oh, here you go. Here's your caramel macchiato. 1 sugar-free pump. Enjoy your day. Never. This is the new thing now. I don't get it.
But then hang on. I get it. But wouldn't that be irrational then?
Christine donated $200.
Irrational.
As a female, I will be honest and say that this bear versus man debate is just a low-key way for us women to remind you men that we hate you and or have a low-level contempt towards your gender. F you.
Damn.
I mean, I do actually think that's what it is. There's no, it's not rational. It's not logical. It's simply social signaling about how much women either don't like men or how they feel. This is a perception, how they feel they are unsafe around men. Can you let me finish my
The reason
statement?
I think this, I just want to give you my perspective real quick and then I'll turn it back over, right? I think that people could put themselves, especially women, in much greater danger by only appealing to their emotion instead of refusing to appeal to logic, rationality, but rather just appealing to emotion. I think that's a way that people put themselves in much higher categories of danger. So when I'm assessing this, I think, well, maybe you're also doing something which is horrible for you and you don't even realize that you're doing something which is horrible for you. You know what I mean?
Facts. You know, my father always tells me, ever since I was young, do not act on your emotions. Think first. Think. Don't ever act emotionally. Okay? It's a military thing. Okay? It's an intelligence thing. Now, here's the thing. Women, and I believe it's the school systems, for many years, even in school, I remember, like, parents or friends of my, like, teachers and whatever, they would just be like, well, how do you feel? Everything is, well, do you feel this way? It's all this socio-emotional decision-making, socio-emotional learning. We don't make decisions based on emotions. That's how you end up in big, big trouble, okay? That's how you end up in a mess, making emotional decisions. Women are terrible at this. That's why I feel like women should not be in high-powered jobs. It's just not, it's high-stress jobs, presidents, CEOs. You have to be able to make very quick decisions in a very rational way. Most women can't do that. That's why I don't like to get in planes with women. Okay? Because when the plane is going down, are you really going to be able to reel that in? I don't think so. Okay? And you don't have the physical strength. That's a whole different story for a different day. But it does coincide with the bear. Because, hello, so you think you're going to outsmart the bear? It's physics. We're talking about, you're not going to. You're physically not going to. Now, you have a man here with a gun? Yeah. That gun can kill the bear. Why in God's name would you ever have to think about that question? Of course you go with the man. I mean, you would think that these people would be smarter, these feminists, right? They're so stupid that they don't even come up with the concept like, yeah, I'll go with the man. I'll go with the man. I'll seduce him, take the gun, kill him, and kill the bear. How about that? If you want to be alone. I mean, come up with something good.
How can I make those assessments as to whether or not you're even doing what's in your own best interest if I can't rationally analyze it? If I have to just go off of your emotions?
You had something?
I was just going to say, logically, are you scared of something that's bigger than you, that's stronger than you? Us as women, we are weaker to men. So I think it is a little bit of a survival instinct just to be on the lookout. I mean, if we're talking about rationality and logic, I'm not saying, no, I'm not saying that all men are bad and will hurt you. I think most men want to help and protect, but I'm saying logically, if you're stronger than me.
Yeah, but the question that you asked is, isn't it logical to be afraid of things which are bigger and stronger than you? Well, then by that logic, men should be afraid of many other men, right?
Right. So like if you're in a fight, for example, and the guy is way bigger than you, aren't you going to be a little bit more nervous to fight him, for example?
Yeah, so that would be rational. So in this particular case, then, what's bigger, a man or a bear?
Are we still on this? I thought we were just talking about men.
They're still going to combat that? What's bigger, a man or a bear? What's stronger, a man or a bear? Oh my God. I can't believe this. I can't. This is ridiculous. We're talking about a bear.
Talk about that.
Yeah, no, but I'm following your logic.
Can we talk about who attacks more women?
Because if the logic is, if something is bigger and stronger, you should be more.
She just said we're talking about who attacks more women. Now this is a good one. Yeah, because there's just as many bears as men walking up and down the street. And if you have just as many bears to men, the men attack more women, right? Right. Do you realize how stupid that comment was? Oh my God.
Attacks more women.
Because if the
listen.
Men. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, no, but I'm following your logic.
Can we talk about who attacks more women?
Because if the logic is, if something is bigger and stronger, you should be more afraid of it. And I agree with you that that's true. Then we would immediately default to the bear being way bigger and stronger than a man, so we should be way more afraid of it, right?
Absolutely, but I'm just saying, if you're talking about logical and why women are afraid of men, well, it's because you guys are bigger. It's because you guys are faster. Some might even say that you guys are smarter because we act on emotions more. So of course we're going to be a little afraid, right?
So like, let's just grant that, fine, a bunch of women, you're scared of men are scary. Let's grant it.
Why? I don't mean to cut off Brian, okay, but why? How did we get to the place where women are scared of men? I don't understand this. Aren't women supposed to be looking for a man to save them? And no matter where I go, the first thing I'm doing is looking around. Which guy? Okay, in case something goes down in here. All right, he's got it. Yep. I've never walked in a place and looked at, oh, she's gonna get me. Oh, she can save me. Yep. It's like when you get on a plane. Are you looking around for the female, stewardess to save you? Or are you checking for the pilot? Are you checking around going, oh, I wonder if he's the, let me see, him. Yep. Okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? Why are all these women afraid of men? How does evolution even continue on if women are just afraid of men? How do we procreate? How does this, I don't understand this. This is not nature. This is not natural. It's not nature. It's not human nature. This is not how society, this is not how life works. It's bizarre.
Even if that were the case, it's still the suboptimal choice, just logically, that it would be a bear. To pick a bear, it's still...
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, I don't even know what you're arguing about then.
No, but you guys were saying
Let me bring it back to this. I was asking, would you rather be in a room with a man or a bear? And I was waiting for your answer. You didn't really give one.
like, for argument's sake, a man?
I'll stick with my bear from the beginning.
Still would
I'll
rather
stick
be in
with
a
my
room
bear, sure.
with a bear. Okay.
It's equal chances.
Man.
It's equal.
Wow, this girl, she needs help. She needs help. You're talking about a room now. You're talking about a room. So let's just say, for those of you who, live in a house or an apartment, let's just walk in the door and make a choice. Do you want a man in there or a bear? Okay. All right. She chooses a bear. Okay.
Man.
It's equal chance for what?
Well,
to be attacked?
50-50. They're going to be either crazy or they're going to be fine. It's either going to be
So wait,
like
50% of men would attack you in that situation?
not 50%, but like this is a random stranger.
Yeah,
it's
random
like
stranger.
They're either going to be, let's say, normal, sane, and not attack me, or they will.
So it's a coin toss when
Yeah.
it comes to men.
But again, you can't communicate with the bear. What? This makes absolutely no sense. The chances are much better of you talking down a man that is actually going to do something. You can manipulatively talk. There's a lot of things you can do to kind of get out of a situation like that. You can play on their emotions. You know what I'm saying? You can weasel your way out. If you're small, you can actually outrun them sometimes. You can outmaneuver. You can get under. You can do things. You're not doing anything with a bear. And you can't communicate with it. So that the whole thing is just totally illogical because you cannot communicate with the bear. That's the point. There is no negotiating with a bear.
When to
So
the bear as well.
50-50.
Either the bear will be fine and just like sitting.
But in order for
Like-
that to be true, you have to say that 50% of men would attack you.
Well, you never know. It's a coin toss every time.
No, but
It's a stranger. It's stranger danger. Like that could be any person.
yeah,
That's
but
how I
50%
like.
of men would not. Just a few
Can I
others.
say something really quick
Sure,
though?
go ahead.
Like, you know what makes it so much like funnier though? It's the fact that like at first women were just like, oh, I picked the bear. But then it was like the men that were like, oh, she picked the bear over me? She rather be in no. And like then they started like talking about how they want to get like really violent with these women who are picking the bear, and it's like it's
Okay.
like proving the point. Like
Do you
that's why
think
she didn't
it's-
want to pick the bear. Like
So
you
this
really
is
think he picked
this
you?
is one of the worst coping straw men that I've ever heard. What men are out there saying how much they want to be violent with women who pick the bear?
It's all over
Who?
Twitter, all over Twitter.
It's not
and
all.
over
Can you show me a
TikTok.
single tweet of men
I don't
being
have my
threatening
phone
towards
on
women
me.
because they
You
would pick
guys
the
took
bear?
my
A single
phone.
one?
How are you gonna ask me to show you something when you guys took my phone?
Yeah. Okay. What's your? I can go to your Twitter. What is your Twitter handle? I'll take a look right now. There's actually men there who are saying that they're going to be violent with you
I
because
didn't
you picked the bear.
retweet this, but you can go on my Twitter if you'd like, whichever way. But it's all over my timeline. Yeah.
What, her saying it? See, this is where they get in trouble. They don't ever think that somebody like the Crucible is going to call them out on this. Well, let me see it. Show it to me. They never ever think it's going to happen.
And men are saying on your timeline that they want to hurt you because you picked the bear.
Not me. They're responding to women online who are saying they picked the bear, saying like, "Oh my god, like, see, this is why we fucking hate you." Like,
That's not saying that they want to hurt them.
no, they are.
Because
Just search
that's
it
not
up.
saying that
Just
they
search
want to
it
hurt
up if
them
you'd
because they
like.
picked the bear.
Fact check me. Fact check me.
do you think it's wrong for men to
Fact check me. Fact check me. Just search it up. Search it up if you'd like. Okay, fact check me. Fact check me. So annoying.
be upset by women's answers that they'd rather be in the woods with a bear than
I don't
with a
think
man?
it's wrong to be upset, but like if you're gonna get upset and then
Why
start getting
do you think
violent,
men
it's a little-
are upset by it? Why do you think?
I feel like the men that are upset are the ones that like place themselves in that shoe of like, I wouldn't do that. But I feel like the man who knows that he wouldn't do that wouldn't even get upset. Like they wouldn't care about this whole issue. Like you don't see a high value
Let me ask you a
man
question.
No, men are getting upset because of girls like all of you. Okay? Because men are not appreciated. They do everything. They work. They have to do this. And while, Myron says this all the time. Okay. Men have to work for their value. Women don't have to do anything really. So yeah, it comes to a point where if you're going to do all these things for women and then not even be appreciated, how do you think these men are going to act? No wonder they're, playing video games instead of spending time with you. I'd rather play video games than spend any time with these people, and I don't even play video games, okay?
talking about this
Sure.
discourse, really.
Oh, okay, let me ask you a question. So, if a woman...
You don't see millionaires talking about this discourse. You don't see men who are high-level elite athletes who talk about this. You don't see, for instance, bodybuilders who have sent out tweets about this, because that's all over Twitter. Would you like me to give you some examples?
Of men entertaining this whole discourse with more than a laugh? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, with more than a laugh, where they say, "Hey, this seems like it's mass delusion."
What do they say?
So that's what.
Mass delusion. Boy, is it ever.
But that's what they're. Hang on, I'm trying to answer your question. Calm down. What they're trying to point to is that there's a mass delusion which is going on, and that women have become so far removed from nature, the natural order of things, that they believe that due to the pampering that they have in modernity, that they would actually make this choice. But when presented with that actual choice, we don't actually believe that they would. We think that they're basically full of shit. That's what, so basically what the argument's really about, is whether or not women in modernity are being delusional or not.
I do find it interesting that a lot of women pick the bear, but I mean, how many of these same women who pick the bear will gladly go over to a strange man's house who she matched with on Tinder, go back to his house after drinking and partying? You guys probably all know girls that meet a guy at some fucking frat party, fuck him that night, all alone. Absolutely no issues there. So it's interesting, though, when we put you in this venue that's a bit, in the woods versus some dingy frat house, things change up real quick. So
No,
Wow. Brian, bravo. Bravo. You said it. You said it. You said it all right there. He is exactly right. He is exactly right. These women have absolutely no problem going home with the hottie, with the high value, with the nun, with the this, the that. They have no problem doing all that. No problem doing all that. But you'd rather pick a bear over a man if you were trapped in a room? Really?
I would say that's concerning either way.
Given that I guess bears are not as dangerous as men, do you think you would be more safe or less safe if you just replaced all men with bears? Starting with you, go ahead.
Less safe, I guess. I don't know. I feel like that's I would feel less safe. Simply. It's all men are gone and it's literally just wild bears.
Yeah. So a bear just takes all men's place. So wherever the men are. So you could be driving.
It's you're a bear.
Right now, I'm a bear. I'm a bear.
Oh my God,
you're a
bear.
Nick's a bear.
Well, if that happens, they'll all be dead. They'll all be dead real soon. Because once everything dilapidates and there's no food and you can't communicate with the bear and you don't even know how to get from point A to B and you've never walked more than 3 miles in your life, and now there's no one to fix your car, and the microwave isn't working and you gotta go fish for your food. Yeah, okay, yeah. No logic. Okay, so yeah, they'll all be gone. Everything will just be done and it'll be all bears. And Daisy, because they didn't know how to talk to everybody, especially Panda Bear. Panda Bear and Grizzly Bear too. Because Bear know everything about China. China is Bear. You see, we have Panda Bear. I look like Panda Bear. I talk to Bear, okay? You stupid. They're stupid. Daisy knows best.
And you're asking me, would the world be less safe?
I suppose, would you?
Would I be?
Would you be more safe or less safe if all men just instantly transformed into
in a primitive sense, we would be less safe.
All of you guys can conduct a very simple experiment. You ready? Walk over to random men you don't know, reach over and pat them on the head and walk away. And see what happens. Do the same thing with wild bears. Walk over, pat them on the head, and walk away and see what happens. Which one do you think is going to be far more likely? Now, you might be able to pat a couple of wild bears on the head and walk away. You might be able to do that. But I can guarantee you that a lot more of those bears are going to attack you than men are. It's very simple. This is not complex in any way.
I loved this. This really puts it out there. It lays it all on the line. Okay. Women have absolutely lost their minds. Okay. I am now convinced that China has taken over and Daisy will soon be president. You vote for Daisy. Daisy know best. I see you soon. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Panda Bear. I Daisy. I smart. You stupid American women. Bye-bye. See you next time.